Dr. Limitless, what would you tell the people today? I'm going to say, welcome to Dr. Limitless Podcast, where we break limits, build purpose, and become everything it is that God desired for us to be or designed us to be. I am your host, Dr. Limitless, here to challenge your mindset, elevate your vision, and help you lead a life that inspires others to be better than their best and never rest on their last success. Today, we're diving into real conversations, real growth, real transformation. So take a breath, open your mind, and get ready, because you're not just listening to a podcast, you're stepping into your next level, and you're about to be limitless. Let's go. Hello. I think I might have to, let me end this. I think something has went wrong, people, because I can't hear nothing. Can you hear me? All right. Either way, we're going to go ahead and get started. I think it's right. I think I had something going on. It was mute for me either way. But Dr. Limitless, what would you tell the people to say? It's not to say. What would you tell the people today? All right. You see what happens when you live and things get you out of whack. You get messed up, but it's all good. All right. So let's focus on this. Respectfully, my view doesn't need your approval. My view doesn't need your approval. I think a lot of us struggle with, and this is for me, because I struggled with this for a long time. But I want to talk to you about it now because my view doesn't need your approval. And I think a lot of us, man, with social media, likes, engagement, we really feel like we need other people to validate what it is that we believe by liking it, by engaging with us or jumping on our sides. And no, that's just perspectives. Even if everybody agree with your perspective, there's going to be somebody out there that doesn't agree with it. In the same way that you value those that agree, or the same way you should value those that don't agree. Respect their perspective and appreciate it. What does that mean? Mind your business. My business is my business. What you believe and how you feel, that's your business. It has nothing to do with me unless you involve me in it. If you ask my opinion and I choose to give it, then I'm somewhat invested. But if a conversation starts to go left or start to become toxic, it has nothing to do with me. I make my statement, get out. Because at the end of the day, my view doesn't need your approval. I'm just giving you my perspective based on what it is that I've experienced in life. So let's get into perspective. What is perspective? Perspective is a particular attitude towards something or someone. And then when you look at the origin, it's optics, how we see things. That's what it's about, how we see things. Does that mean what I see is factual? No. Does it mean what you see is factual? No. It's just our interpretations of what we're observing and the patterns that we come up with it to say, hey, this is what I believe. That's just qualitative research in a nutshell. I'm looking at and not going through a deep dive in methodology, but when you observe something and you come up with a view on it, that is qualitative research. Why is that important? When you think about the issues with perspective, is this: there are 5 components that I like to say, or 5 parts to developing our perspective. The first one is personal experiences, positive, negative, of what we had with something or someone. Then it's the social learning. What do we learn from our parents, our peers, the media, what's on TV? Then you have direct teaching or learning. What did you learn about how to view people and how to judge certain situations? The fourth one is cultural influences. Your background, your environment, where you come from, your DNA, your ethnic group, etc. And then your personal emotions. Normally, when we assign our emotions to it, that's when things tend to get all out of whack. So the three components that research say that truly influence it is cognitive, affective, and behavioral. Cognitive is, what do you think about this particular person or thing? Affective, what is your feelings towards it? So we're going a little bit more in depth. And then behavioral, what is your actions or intentions towards this? What I like to say is, what is your goal going into a conversation? What is your goal going into a debate? What is your goal? If your goal is to go in to win, to get in an argument, or to try to smother somebody with your point of view, or try to get people to join your team, then that has nothing to do with really trying to learn new knowledge. Anytime I go into a conversation, I'm trying to be open to try to learn as much as I can to continue to enhance who I am as an individual, but also give me an ability to psychologically to be able to understand people. So a lot of us are engaging in confirmation bias. That's when you have the tendency to find new evidence to support your beliefs or theories. So as soon as you see something, you're like, that's it. That's it. That's who they are. That's what. It's just confirmation bias. It could be true, could not be true. But if it's true for you, it's true. But I want you to think about this. When we say respectfully, my view doesn't need your approval, it's a scripture that I used to say all the time when I got in trouble. Not really a scripture. It's kind of like a passage. The Lord is my shepherd. I shall not want. He maketh me lie down in green pastures. So I want you to think about it. The Lord is my shepherd. I shall not want. I don't want your approval. I don't want your acceptance. I don't want to be able to have some type of social bond or trauma bonding with you just because I want you to agree with what I'm saying. No, I don't. I don't need that at all. And as you add to that, the Lord is my shepherd. I shall not want. He maketh me lie down in green pastures. I'm in peace. Whatever you think is what you think. I'm in peace with what it is that I'm thinking. You need to find your peace. Stop arguing with these people. Some of these people get off on it. You made their day. And you think about it from the perspective, a lot of people see me on TV shows. I've done a lot of successful things. And if a person could get me agitated to argue back at them or to respond, I was able to get Dr. Limitless to do this and make them feel good for the day. And I'm pretty sure it has worked in the past. It has worked in the past. I used to get into arguments and I used to be like, God knows, if I could fight this person, I'd knock that God knows head off. Straight up. I used to look at people that would challenge me and I'm like, if they only knew what I could physically do to them, I don't think they would talk to me like that. But even having that emotion, I'm losing. When you truly master self, mind, body, spirit, and emotions, there's nobody that should be able to rattle you. Because you don't seek external validation. You only seek internal. You're very secure in who you are as a person. So some of you may say, how in the world, Limitless, do you get to the point where you can think critically and creatively, even when you're watching something that you don't particularly like? Anybody that know me know I love Tupac Shakur to death. That I feel like he's the greatest rapper ever. Feel like he is like the gospel. Like he was like a minister to me. I would listen to the music and I feel. So when Tupac was killed, I didn't want to hear no Nas. I didn't want to hear no Biggie. I didn't want to hear no Jay-Z. I dang sure didn't want to hear no P. Diddy. None of that. I didn't like him. Flesh, I didn't like him. And to show you how warped I was in my thinking, when Biggie died at that time, I would love to sit here and tell you all, yeah, in 97, I was 17 years old. I would love to tell you that I was like sad. No, I won't. A little part of me was like, I don't care. Shoot, Tupac dead. Now, the age now, man, I hate that dude died. I truly do. And I think Biggie was a great guy from what I saw. I didn't know him, but I hate that he died. But I would love to tell you at 17, I felt that way. I didn't. That's how much I love Tupac. That's how much I did not like these individuals. So I went into the documentary initially confirmation bias, trying to see all the things that is wrong with this individual. And I felt like it was a good job that they did of building up, how he was able to be successful. I think the same thing that made him successful is the things that actually ended up in his demise. And I said, you know what? I don't like what P. Diddy did. And I don't like what R. Kelly did. But you would never hear me say anything bad about R. Kelly. And I don't agree with nothing R. Kelly did. When it comes to things that he was accused of. And I don't agree with nothing P. Diddy did. But I was like, how can you like one and still play their music, but you don't like this one? And they have some sexual perversions as well. And James, let's not act like you always been the greatest, because you had to deal with your own sexual demons as well. So you're not perfect. And none of us are. A lot of us have skeletons or things in our closet that we wouldn't want to talk about. A lot of us. And even if it's not sex, it's other things that you have struggled with or dealt with. So how can I judge? Are you kidding me? I sold crack. I sold drugs to people. How can I judge? I have been into fights. I have fought people that I shouldn't have fought. How can I judge? I have fallen short a lot of times. How can I judge? So I said, you know what? Let me come in with an open-minded perspective. Let me see this. And what I saw, I don't care what anybody else saw, because I do not need your approval. What I saw was some people, and I'm not saying that what they're saying is not true, because I do believe some of it was true. I saw people that did not like him or that had an axe to grind that made comments. I would have loved to see somebody that literally had nothing. It was just objective. They don't win anything. They don't gain anything. They just give their point of view. I would have loved to see what Little Kim say. I would have loved to see what Little C's. I would have loved to see what these individuals say and have an objective point of view. But then I also said, and my daughter got me to see this, my daughter Jazz, why should you be happy at anybody's downfall? Why? There has been times I was down, and I sure wouldn't want to be kicked. There's things that I have done that's not right. I don't need people judging me or putting more onto me. If I have breath, I have opportunity to change. If you have breath, you have opportunity to change and to be better. It's your choice. So why all of the hate? So I had to go and do some research, right? And I realized we as a people sometimes, we like to feel a form of self-enhancement. When people are suffering because we're not quite happy with where we are, we like to watch them because it makes us feel a little bit better. That's why I used to look at Housewives of Atlanta, Orange. I'm like, look at these people. They got money, but look how they acting. It made me feel better because I had a little bit of low self-esteem. I wasn't where I wanted to be. So it made me have a little self-enhancement and a little moral judgment of like, at least I ain't like them. At least I'm better than them. But you know what it did? It distracted me from self. See, other people's opinions, what's going on externally, it's all noise. And it get louder the more we engage with it. And the louder it get, the more it confuses us, and the more it distracts us from looking at ourselves. But when you eliminate the noise, only thing you got left is you. And only you can change you. There was nobody that could change me. There was nobody that could save me. Even when people be like, Jesus saved, yeah, but you still got to be willing to seek Jesus. Because faith without works is dead, baby. And we could throw out all of these little slogans, mantras, all of this stuff. Man, I've done it all. I begged and talked to God about a lot of things. I have tried to do this and that. And a lot of times I still fell flat on my face until I realized, you know who is the one that's messing up, James? It's you. You know who the one that's making all these bad decisions? Is you. And once I realized, you're right, I'm the loser. I'm the one that is not valuing all of these blessings and these things that I've been awarded. It's me. Then I became limitless. And then I started walking in it. And I said, you know what? I don't want to get caught up in gossip. And there's two types of gossip. You got pro-social gossip, which is helpful. Hey, look, hey, this person has done this, and this is factual. I want you to be careful. And then there's anti-social gossip, which is harmful and hateful, and it's envious. It's jealousy. It comes from a place that is very aggressive against, and it's detrimental, it's damaging. But I said, I don't want to get involved in no gossip. I don't want to get involved in being happy for anybody's demise. So what I started doing was I go into every conversation with a goal. And the goal is to bring unconditional love, joy. And then I ask myself, what can I learn from this individual or this situation? How is this going to help me grow? That's all I care about. And I want to come in with an open-minded perspective of, man, I could learn something from this person or from this experience. So I always ask myself, what are my thoughts? What am I thinking about what it is that they're saying? That's metacognition. I want to go above my initial thoughts and say, why am I thinking these thoughts? Where are they coming from? The second thing is my emotions. Why do I feel a little bit of anxiety in my stomach? Like, why am I feeling this way? What is this really about? And then the third thing is, what are my intentions? How am I going to use this to benefit self first? Very selfish. How am I going to use this to benefit me first? And then how can I take this information and share it with the world? And especially my limitless individuals that have the desire to be a better version of themselves. How can I share this with them? So that's what I do. So I want you to think about it. When you go into a conversation, what are your intentions? No, first, lead with unconditional love. Bring joy to it. Then the next thing is, what are my thoughts around this? What this person is talking about? What are my emotions? And then what are my intentions? So 5 things I want you to think about. Because look, there's been crazy situations that I have experienced. I have had people try to do all types of things that I when I look back and I'm like, man, that's funny. They really tried to sully up my name or destroy my character. But what I realize is no weapon formed against me, formed, shall prosper. The Lord prepares a table before me in the presence of my enemies. I will eat in front of them. It's nothing they can do. Nothing they can do. Even like Tupac said, even if I die, I'll be a problem. My voice is going to live forever. Building legacy. And you can't stop something that's motivated and moving. You need to be that unstoppable train that once it gets going, it takes a very special conductor to stop it. But see, a lot of you all are getting stopped because you hear noise and you don't even realize you're already up here and you listen to the noise down there. See, most people at your level up here, they ain't throwing stuff at you. They're trying to work and build with you. What are you trying to accomplish? Why are you putting so much effort and energy into other people's opinions about your life? That's their business. I read something on Rate My Professor, and a student was like, class absolutely wasted time. Wouldn't go in there. He just all talking about how to be a better person and this and that and da 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 da. It was a waste of time for me. Okay. Then I had another student, Dr. Limitless is the GOAT, best professor I ever had. One and then another one. And you know how I feel about both of them? How I feel about both of them? It's their opinions. I respect it. I have people that have put comments about my book. A lot of people loved it. Some people don't. It's their opinion. I respect it and buy it. And thank you for buying it. Like I could care less. Just buy it. Just buy it. Whatever you say about it, that's cool. That's cool. But I want you to realize that. Now, will I say that was easy to get to that place? Absolutely not. Like I am a fighter. Like that's what I felt like I was born to do. I'm a protector. I'm an aggressive person. But you got to learn that sometimes you got to manage those emotions and not be always willing to go there. Because the world needs the best version of you. And the best version of you is someone that looks internally for respect and approval compared to somebody that looks externally. So what are you going to do with your life? What are you willing to give up? What are you willing to become? If you just follow what everybody else is saying and doing, you'll never find the real you. But when you look deep within and raise your level of awareness, you're going to find the best version of you. And I encourage all of you to find the best version of you and realize your perspective is your perspective. Their perspective is their perspective. Mind your own business. Let them mind their business and be limitless. Thank you, my sensual beings, my limitless soldiers, disciples, for taking the time to listen to this podcast and support it. Please share it with other people. More importantly, go out and live it. And when you wake up in the morning, look at yourself, tell yourself how good you are, how great you are, how good you look. Build your confidence up and tell yourself, today is a glorious day. And for 86,400 seconds, I will give my excellence and my best until I'm laid to rest. I'm abundantly blessed and never stressed. Be better than your best and never ever rest on your last success. Check your life. Be limitless. Be limitless, my people.